There are 5 principles, really, that guide, I think, in my view, debate within UNESCO World Heritage Cities. The first point is that inscription, UNESCO inscription, is the beginning, it's not an end. There is sometimes the perception that from the moment a site is inscribed, an urban site, for example, that is the end of its history. The history is defined, the OUV is defined. From that point, nothing must change. Now, of course, that's not possible, and it's not desirable. So there has to be a continual process of engagement and redefinition of what the value of a place is, or at least its management. Secondly, World Heritage status is a framework and a factor. So World Heritage status is not just an inscription onto a list and then that's it. The fact of the site being a World Heritage site in itself is a factor in how that site will develop. So there's the notion of a, let's say, post-historical, if you will, era in a site's life. So a site is inscribed. From that point of inscription, that site becomes a World Heritage site, and its history may, be affected from that point by the very fact that it is a World Heritage site. Authenticity is relative, it's not absolute. In the case of World Heritage sites, authenticity is based on a relative assessment of impact on or notions of OUV, outstanding universal value. So authenticity is always defined or assessed in relation to that. Cities are dynamic organisms of civic engagement. So cities are always changing. They must always change. It's their nature to change. They must not be frozen. They must be alive, and they must be also drivers of progress in social, cultural, technological, programmatic, etc. terms. And finally, heritage is a process, it's not a product. The notion of tourism, sustainable tourism, is fundamental really to that question. What is a heritage product and what is a heritage process? In my view, in our view, let's say, the point is that heritage is ever evolving and ever redefined, and so it's important to understand the essence of it rather than freeze products in time.